Today we're going to be working on a cute little Christmas tag. Now anyone can do this. It's fun for adults, but you could also do this with your grandchildren, or if you run a daycare, it's a great little craft. So we're going to start off with a little brown water paint on your thumb. Now I did rock it back and forth, and I was hoping that the little puddle would end up at the top, but it kind of ended off over to the edge, but that's okay. It's okay. It's watercolor. It's no big deal. So I just took my brush and I kind of wiggled it around. So now it's like a shadow down the side of the reindeer's face. It's going to be really cute. Trust me. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to put a little red for a nose. Hardly any water on my brush. It's like just barely damp and a little bit of the paint. Now while that's drying and kind of setting up a bit, I'm going to go in with a stamp at the bottom of my tag. Now this stamp I believe was just from Temu, but it's really cute. Now I did notice stamps from Temu. Make sure you read the stamp before you use it because some of them are missing letters or maybe even a whole word. How weird is that? It's like you're kind of getting the ones that didn't turn out so well. This one here was perfect though. Have a holly jolly Christmas and a happy new year too, I believe it is. A little blurry here. So right here, I'm impatient. It's taking a little while for that brown to dry up. Might also be a little dark for me. So I took a tiny piece of a Kleenex. Actually, this was a paper towel. Just ripped off the edge and I'm just holding it lightly into the paint. It's just going to absorb some of the water and you can see it's kind of lightening it up. It's going to dry it faster basically. Now I'm going to take one of my Pitt pens. It's a waterproof Pitt pen. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw my antlers on. Nothing fancy. Now, if you're looking for the Pitt pens, I will try to remember to drop them in the comments, as well as this paint palette. I love this paint palette. I've tried a few of them. This is by far my favorite. Now, I want to deepen up that red, so I've kind of laid off on the water. It's just a damp brush, and again, I'm dipping it into the red pigment, or the red watercolor paint. I'm going to take a little white enamel paint. It's an acrylic paint. Well, it's an enamel paint. It's not an acrylic paint, but it's in with my acrylic paints, and it's basically my glossy white. And I'm using one of these dotting tools, and I'm just going to do two little eyeballs. Now, of course, you could just freehand draw some on there. I kind of like these dotting tools lately. I've had them for a few years, and I didn't really use them a whole lot. Now I seem to be using them all the time. This one here, you can tell I'm still no expert at it. It's taking me 3 tries to get a little eyeball there. I think it's because the brown paint wasn't quite dry enough. Now I'm going to take my Pitt pen and I'm going to draw a little half smile just to give him a little quirky smile. Okay, let's see. What else can we do to dress this up? We're going to add a red and white, the candy cane jute, I think it's called. It's candy cane string, whatever. Just going to tie that on. But it needs a little something else. Other than the eyeballs, I'm still waiting for that white paint to dry, and then we'll fix up those eyeballs for sure. What do you think about light bulbs through the reindeer's antlers? I think it's a go. So I'm going to draw a little squiggly line. Believe it or not, that was actually sped up. It's funny how you can picture it in your mind and then you go to do it and you're like, I don't know. And you kind of slow yourself down. Totally normal. Absolutely normal. Even for those of us that craft every single day. Okay, I'm going to go in with a little bit of different colors here and add my little light bulbs. So not a lot of water because I want them to be quite pigmented, quite dark. We're just going to choose some random colors here. A little yellow, a little red. Maybe, let's see, a blue and a green. And again, they don't have to be a perfect size or anything because you kind of imagine when the light is glowing, it's not going to be a perfect light bulb shape. So it's one of those fun things. Also, if you don't feel steady enough hand to do the little light bulbs, that's okay. You could just grab a marker and draw those on. Kids could use a crayon, whatever works. light bulb up here. How many of you do make tags for Christmas? Do you make your own personal ones, or are you somebody that goes out and shops for tags? And if so, are they just store-bought tags, or do you like the handmade personal tags? Maybe you buy them or make them yourself. Let me know in the comments. I'm just curious if this is something that's really of interest to people, or are you typically just shoppers for it? I kind of like a homemade tag. I like when I receive them. I just feel like they've given me that extra special attention. Am I a little needy? I also just like that there's the effort put into it. It's unique. I don't know. It's something about a personal hand tag here. Now I'm going to go in with some of my black enamel paint, just because the acrylic one wasn't handy. And I'm going to put in my little eyeball pupils. Oh my gosh, he's looking so cute. Now, I do think it needs a little more detailing, so I'm going to go back in with a really fine pit pen, and I'm just going to kind of draw those brackets, basically, just on either side of the light bulb, just to kind of, make it stand out a little more. Sometimes the watercolor kind of just doesn't pop until it has a little sketching around it. And very loosely, like it's not being precise. Just kind of adds to it. I think he's so cute, but I gotta admit, it would be more special if it was done by my grandbabies or, my daughters or something like that. But I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next craft.